Now we move to the next topic of the second unit, that is types of queues. In types of queues, we are going to discuss circular queue, priority queue and D queue. So these are all the three types: circular queue, priority queue and D queue. D queue can also be called as double-ended queue. Now we see circular queue. So we already discussed linear queue, that is the element. Here you just see one example of this linear queue with 10 elements. The first element will be pointed by the pointer called front, the last element which is pointed by the pointer called rear. Now this is a queue full situation. Now this is an example of circular queue. What is the difference between this linear queue and circular queue? There is no connection between the last element and first element in the linear queue, but whereas in circular queue, the last element will be connected with first element. So we can say it is circular singly linked list type of queue. So now we see why we go for circular queue. This is our linear queue. What are all the drawbacks here? First, in this queue, front is equal to 0 and rear is equal to 9. After deleting two elements, what is going to happen? So in queue, insertion taken place at rear end, but deletion taken place at front end. So if I delete two elements, what is going to happen? This first element and this second element will be deleted, because first in, first out. The deletion taken place at the front end. Now after deleting two elements, our queue is looking like this. First element and second element deleted. Now what is front and what is rear? Rear there is no change at all, but front will be pointing the third element. Now, in this situation, there are two empty spaces are there. Now if you want to insert a new element, it cannot be done because the space is available only at the left of the queue. In the queue oda left la dhaan indha rendu space available irukku. But even though space available irundhalum idha na fill panna mudiyumana I cannot. Why? Because our overflow situation is rear is equal to max minus 1. Now rear is equal to max minus 1. So it is an overflow condition. There is no element further can be inserted, even though there is a space. So this is the major drawback of linear queue. Even if space is available, no insertions can be done once rear is equal to max minus 1. So this leads to wastage of space. In order to overcome this problem, we use circular queue. Now you better understand what is circular queue. So in circular queue, even this space can be utilized for some elements. In circular queue, the first index comes right after the last index. The last index oda right la in the first index varudhu appdinu solranga. First index comes right after the last index. So appo idha situation appadina, what is the condition for full in circular queue appdinu pathina, this is the condition. So in linear queue, this is the only condition for queue is full, rear is equal to max minus 1. But here we have to add one more condition, front is equal to 0. You better understand by this diagram. Now this is circular queue is full. How you can say? The rear should be equal to max minus 1. At the same time, the front should be 0. But if you take this example, here the front is 2. It is not 0. Even though rear is equal to max minus 1, front is 2. So this is not an overflow condition. Now we see how to insert an element in a circular queue. For insertion, we have to check three conditions as follows. First one, whether circular queue is full or not. Because if one circular queue is full, we cannot insert any new element into it. So for that, there are two conditions are there. One is what we discussed in the previous slide. Front is equal to 0 and rear is equal to max minus 1. There is one more condition also there for circular queue is full or not. That is rear is equal to front minus 1. Now I just explained with the support of the respective diagram. This is what we discussed in the previous slide. That is rear is equal to max minus 1 as well as front is equal to 0. Definitely our circular queue is full. Second one, rear is equal to front minus 1. Now you just see this diagram. Now this is our circular queue. This is rear, this is front. Now you just imagine a queue with some 5 elements. Initially I inserted element 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So front is pointing the first element, rear is pointing the last element. Now if I suppose to delete the first element, now this is going to be front. Now I deleted the second elements also. This is going to be front. Now I just insert a new element. Where I can insert in circular queue? Here I can insert a new element. So what is going to happen? This is going to be rear hereafter. This is not the rear. Now I just insert the second element. Now what is rear? This is my rear. Now the third element is actually front. Now this element is actually rear. Now what is the condition? Circular queue is full. What is this condition actually? Rear is equal to front minus 1. So this is also one of the condition for circular queue is full or not. So this is the first condition for inserting an element in a circular queue. Second one, rear not equal to max minus 1. This is very general condition. Whenever the rear is not equal to max minus 1, I simply incremented the rear and then I just insert a new element as like a linear queue. Now the rear is not max minus 1, which means that there is enough space for inserting a new element. So what we are going to do, rear is going to be incremented by 1 and then we just insert a new element. Third one, front not equal to 0 and the rear is equal to max minus 1. This is another situation. That is, now this is front, this is rear. Front is not equal to 0 because it is 1 now. Rear is equal to max minus 1. Now there is enough space to insert a new element. So this is also another condition we have to check for inserting a new element. So with this condition I am writing this algorithm. That is, initially we have to check front is equal to 0 and rear is equal to max minus 1, or rear is equal to front minus 1. I can say it is overflow condition. This is condition number 1. Second, if front is equal to minus 1 but rear also minus 1, at that time what I can say, front equal to rear is equal to 0. What it means? Front is equal to minus 1, rear is equal to minus 1 means it is an initial condition. The circular queue is empty. At that time we go for front and rear become 0. It is similar to that of our linear queue. And another condition, if rear is equal to max minus 1 but front is not equal to 0, at that time what we are going to do, rear is equal to 0. This is, I just show this diagram. If front is not equal to 0, rear also max minus 1, at that time if I want to insert a new element, this is actually rear. Now if I insert a new element in this place, now rear become 0. So that is mentioned here. Set rear is equal to 0. Otherwise, just rear is going to be incremented by 1. Rear is just incremented by 1. Now after doing all these things, I go for inserting a value. We are writing a statement, q of rear is equal to value. So now we go for deleting an element from a circular queue. How to delete an element? Here also there are 3 conditions we have to check for deletion. First one, empty condition. We know what is the empty condition. If front is equal to minus 1, then it means that there is no element in the queue. Second, if queue is not empty, how we can delete? At that time we have to check the condition front is equal to rear. then it means that now the queue has become empty, so front is equal to rear is equal to minus 1. You can easily understand from this diagram. Now you just imagine this is my circular queue with only one element at the end. Now what is front, what is rear? This element is actually front as well as this element is actually rear, because only one element is available. Whenever only one element is available in any queue, front and rear is definitely same value. In this situation, what I am going to do, if I want to delete, I can delete this 81. If I want to delete, what is the value of rear and front hereafter? Both can make it as minus 1, because we know front and rear is minus 1 when there is no element in the queue. So this is the answer. Next thing, if queue is not empty and after returning the value on front, if front is equal to max minus 1, then front should be set to 0. What it means? Now you just imagine this is my circular queue. What is front? This is front and this is rear. You just imagine this is the situation. Now if I want to delete an element, which element is going to be deleted? The element which is pointed by front is going to be deleted. If I want to delete this, what the front should be? Immediately the front should move to this particular place. What is this place? It is 0. So if front is equal to max minus 1 is the situation, at the time if I want to delete an element, immediately I have to make front is become 0. So now we just see this algorithm. First we have to check if front is equal to minus 1, definitely it is an underflow situation. I just delete that element by using the statement this queue of front, that element is could be stored it in the variable called VAL. Now if front is equal to rear, what we have to do as per the steps we discussed in the previous slide, front is equal to rear is equal to minus 1, because front is equal to rear means there is only one element in the queue. If once that element is going to be deleted, immediately we can set both front and rear minus 1. Otherwise, if front is equal to max minus 1, that is front is pointing the last element of the queue, if I want to delete that element, immediately the front become 0. If not satisfying with all these three conditions, then I can say front is equal to front plus 1, as like a normal situation rise in linear queue. So this is end of circular queue.